talking about this difference is really important. I'm going to, again, continue to unpack the fact that I have accepted a certain kind of initiation within a West African tradition, that in the modern world, skin color has a lot to do with the way people walk in the world. And so there is something called racism. Racism is everywhere. It's structural. It's in me. It's in you, whoever you are, right? Especially to the extent that you've been living in this country or some of these moments.
I love it. I love it. We having a good time? USA, USA. Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Get him out of here. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they...
So I put out one video this week, looking for material for the next video. I have a lot of ideas, but I got a lot of comments too on the first one, and so that makes a lot of sense to respond in some way. And so there's a lot of different ones, but there's one that kind of struck me in particular that I want to focus on. I don't know if you can see this, right? But it came in through Facebook. I don't know if you can read that. Probably not. See that? Yeah, okay, let's check it out. So basically what it says, the word cool, in my opinion, this is from someone who posted on Facebook, it is a pop culture word, right? So pop culture is about words like the cool. It's a rap term empty of much meaning, which has come to mean pretty much nothing. Like interesting. But this one, interesting, perhaps for the elite. So cool is for the rap, pop culture folk, and interesting is for the elites, but both of them not very useful. I'm not sure who you're addressing and why. Teenagers, rappers, or blacks. In my view, you may be cutting off an entire side of another potential audience here. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, and I'm going to do it in a couple different pieces, okay? So bear with me as I unpack the word cool, and in particular unpack it next to this idea of elite and truth, and really kind of bring it back to some important ideas about sort of the complications of spirituality today as it blends different cultures and different communities together, and where there's often different power differentials in those communities. So let's get started. So what's happening in this situation, right, is someone's putting themselves in kind of an elite class. There's these other kinds of people. We're going to put them all in a group, and somehow we're going to discount them by saying that we're not being included. Interesting. There's something really powerful. There's like a lesson to be drawn from this thing, and the lesson is about the word cool, and it's about the word truth. What is truth? What is cool? What is a performative spirituality? What is a more abstract, disassociative spirituality? So what is the difference between cool and true? Is it true? Brahman is that which is everything that has ever been and always will be.
Allah is that which is more complex than anything you could ever imagine. God is that which created everything that you know and is kind of perfect because of that. Because what if God wasn't perfect? Well, that wouldn't be God by definition, generally. There's some interesting process-oriented gods out there now. Catherine Keller, you should check her out, is talking a lot about that sort of thing. But let's not go down that road, right? Like, God needs to be perfect. Allah needs to be more than that. Brahman must be sort of everything. And to mix and mingle with all the stuff that changes, all the stuff that's not perfect, all the stuff that is problematic, that's, it just sucks, man. Right? Like, who wants to do that? We gotta move away from that. And so a lot of the more, let's say, great world religions, the ones that got really big, the kind of city-state religions, they, not all of them. I mean, China, there's like, it gets complicated. That's not everyone, but a lot of them, right, are taking this move away from. And so that's what I want to get at. I don't want to say that's wrong. I actually think it's really cool, and it's one of the most important things that we can do. And yet there's other stuff. And so the difference between cool and truth helps us to tease that out. So is it cool? I don't know. Is it true? They lead us in different directions. And so the way to get to the truth is by closing your eyes.
By watching your breath. Slowing down. I can feel it, man. It's like you just start to move away from everything and it feels good. Oh man, I love that. I can't tell you how much I like to hang.
So there's this other thing about performance. Is it cool? Does it have social vitality? Like, do people respond? Does it sound like the story people want to tell about themselves? Can they place themselves in the story and feel better about the world? Can they place themselves in the story and somehow figure out what it is in their life that isn't making sense, and therefore by doing this thing suddenly it all works out, right? Like, cool is about performance. It's actually a pretty technical word that comes from a translation of Yoruba into English. It's happened a couple of different times. I'm going to tease that out here in a minute. But what I really want you to get is that there's a difference in approaching spirituality in looking for the cool and in looking for the true. The true moves us away from.
There are other things in the comment. The idea that somehow pop culture is less than the elite culture. Again, this is sort of... this is a complex idea, and it plays out in a lot of different places throughout history, but let's talk again about the Enlightenment, where people who do common folk stuff aren't enlightened. Women who do cooking, cleaning, herbal concoctions that might heal you, no. That's not science, that's women's work. Maybe witchy work. But if it's not done by someone from the Royal Society of Science, a landowner, someone who has made a significant amount of money somehow, usually by being handed it, because we don't really want that merchant class in just yet. So someone who is not of that class can't really do science, right? Or maybe even can't really do spirituality.
Yeah.
To the extent that you discount what other people do because you think that they're kind of like superstitious or less rational or something, that's your modern self, right? The way, to the extent that you think that you're more progressed or more enlightened than that other one, that's also the modern inside of us. We all do it. I do it. We all do it. The point is to find it inside of ourselves.
Responding to this comment, I just really want to also underline the fact that I really appreciate the comment, that I appreciate also the person who gave the comment. My wife said this really beautiful thing when she read it. She said, you know, he loves with his fists, right? And so there's this person who commented on the video, he loves with his fists, and that's all, like, you gotta love that. You gotta love this person for the ways in which they are participating. Watch out. Watch out for the ways that you want to stop their participation. Watch out for the ways you want to calm them down. Watch out for the ways in which you don't like the way they talk, because they don't talk with you. This is not about finding the right way. This is not about the truth. This is not about saying things in the way you're supposed to say them, because if you don't, fill in the blank. No, this is about finding ways to appreciate our differences, which does not mean, and we gotta be careful here, being somehow morally absolutist. That doesn't mean that somehow, because I am more open to these people and those people and all people, that somehow I am better than those people. I'm better than those people. Be careful with that, right? Like, there's gonna be a lot of that. One of those people got put or placed or elected into the highest office in this land, who are those people who elected him in? I know that I am better than those people. So we gotta be careful about it. And it doesn't mean that we can't choose carefully what actions we want to hold up.
It means reminding ourselves that the stereotypes about immigrants today were said almost word for word about the Irish and Italians and Poles, who it was said were going to destroy the fundamental character of America. Surrounded by people who look like us and share the same political outlook and never challenge our assumptions. Understand, democracy does not require uniformity. Our founders argued, they quarreled, eventually they compromised. They expected us to do the same. For blacks and other minority groups, that means tying our own very real struggles for justice to the challenges that a lot of people in this country face. Not only the refugee or the immigrant or the rural poor or the transgender American, but also the middle-aged white guy who from the outside may seem like he's got advantages, but has seen his world upended by economic and cultural and technological change. We have to pay attention and listen. Americans, it means acknowledging that the effects of slavery and Jim Crow didn't suddenly vanish in the 60s. That when minority groups voice discontent, they're not just engaging in reverse racism or practicing political correctness. When they wage peaceful protest, they're not demanding special treatment, but the equal treatment that our founders promised.
We got civilians in the hills, on the streets, in the trap, on the beach. Dealerships worth a few million each. Random folks that'll take pictures with you say cheese. Music City represent, talking wet about us being fresh pen. Cause God don't like ugly and I don't either. Only place we don't need to pay the meter. If you're a lyrical leader, they all know the whip, they all know the chick. Stop us on the boardwalk, you take a pic. Think nothing of it, peeps who done bought my song. Never did me wrong, Davidson County is where I belong. Check a fortune, slam the chords, we got everything you're looking for.
But one of the most important things that I have ever learned from Malidoma and the Dogger is the idea that nobody gets kicked out. The person who is exceedingly, never-endingly, frustratingly, whatever the thing that bugs the out of you, you need him, you need her, you need them. Whatever they're doing, you need that, we need that. So let's be really, really careful not to kick them out. That's what I'm interested in, this idea of performative spirituality. It's this call and response again. It's this idea that you could send it out and then it would come back. And in that process, people feel heard. People feel like they're being held. People feel that you, the speaker, are beautiful, and in turn that they are beautiful. That's the thing, right? Like, if we could do that for each other, then we're onto it. We've actually touched something like the cool. And so I'm going to keep using that word. I like that word. I might find some other words, but I'm going to keep at that, and we're going to play with that. And we're going to see where we go with that word, cool. So cool versus truth. And again, I'm down with the truth too. We'll unpack that some other time.
Today's work of hard labor, but hospitality is in the mood quality, so do not mention a paper. Welcome to my city, where the girls are pretty.